bought a pit bike. That's not what today's video is about. All right, welcome back to another video. Today I have a car to reveal to you, believe it or not. These are not ideal conditions with the wind, however it is a nice day. It is not too terribly hot, and I figured I would show you this. So truthfully, this was going to be a video on the 325 IS, however another failure came up just unexpected with that car, and it's just pushed it back even farther. So frustrating, but that car is still sitting in the garage, and I'll have a video out on that eventually. So I really didn't want to show you this car until I was ready to bring it home and start working on it, but we are close, so I figured why not. I'm not going to draw it out too long, so without further ado, this is my barn find E30. So this is my early model E30. So I've actually owned this car for a few months, but this is the first time I'm actually able to check it out. When I got it, we dumped it here at my grandparents' place in the snow. I have a problem. And it was like a foot of snow. I wasn't even able to really check it out. We picked it up in the Bay Area at like 10 p.m. Didn't get here until like 1 in the morning. I looked at the car for 10 minutes once it was off the trailer, and that was it. So long story short, I really own this car because of the opportunity. I just couldn't pass down the deal, so that's why I bought it months and months ago, and I still haven't had time to get around to it. I just knew that I couldn't pass it up, and I had to get this car into my possession. Now over the years, as I've gotten into the BMW game, E30s have become higher on the wish list over time. I've always been an E36 guy. However, I feel like everyone at one point wants or owns an E30. So much like the E36, this one has kind of a strange unknown history. Seemingly someone was daily driving this not that long ago. As you can see, we are now in the E30 with some seats that are not bolted to the ground. The interior is it's actually pretty clean, and if you know me, you know I love black interior cars, so I'm super stoked on this. I don't know what I'm going to do with this car, but I have a lot of things in my head, and there's lots of possibilities. It doesn't cost me anything to own at this moment, so I may hold on to it, or it might be just to slap the M10 back together and flip it. But that brings up something else. If you didn't see the badge, this is in fact a 318, so this does have the M10 in it. Not a big deal, because realistically, if I do keep this car, I would love to put my M50 from my 325 in this car after I'm done building it. That would be awesome, just because I love this ratty looking E30. I think it would be so cool to have like a M50 turbo setup in here, or even if it was NA, it would be a ton of fun. So if you have any idea on what you think I should be doing with this car, let me know, drop a comment down below. I won't be getting to this car probably for the next month or so. Hopefully I can get to it within the next couple months, hopefully this summer. But yeah, I'm just visiting the car and reminding myself that it is here and it exists. So hopefully it'll serve as a little bit of motivation to get things in motion for it, and we'll get this thing going. So this thing has been sitting since I believe January. So I'll give you a rundown of the car, but it's very, very clean, all things considered. So this car has 155,000 miles. It is in fact a clean title. This was somebody's daily driver not that long ago, so I don't believe we're gonna need that much to get this thing going. I actually already have a head for this car. It's in the back of my truck, and we'll get there when we get there, but I do have the head for this car. I actually have two heads now because I purchased an additional M10 head to the one that's in the trunk. So we got the manual here. I've never owned an E30, but just like the whole feeling, even the smell in this car, it just you can tell you're in an E30. There's lots of research to be done on my end, but overall, it's a pretty clean car. So let me show you the rest of it, and we'll decide what we want to do with it at a later date. Pre-E36 things, the hood, open like that. So as you can see, we have half of an M10. I believe we have every part we need for this car in the trunk, but just looking at it compared to the E36 engine bays, it just looks simpler. We have a pretty new battery, which is great news. Radiator looks brand new. If you were wondering what color this car was, it is a Diamond Schwartz metallic. So I don't know, I guess it's supposed to be gray. So cool how those work. As you can see, the paint used to be pretty shiny, and then up here it's all matte. The sun has completely torn it down, but I actually kind of like this. This is like a cool little patina for this E30. So this car is definitely going to need some TLC, but even the carpets in this car are really nice. It just needs a really good cleaning. But I really couldn't be more stoked on this car, especially for what I paid for it. Now the dash is of course cracked. That was almost to be expected. I feel like every one of these cars that spent any amount of time outside has a cracked dash, but either I will source a very expensive non-cracked dash or we'll flock it. We'll do something cool. This car is like 99% rust free. We got something growing under there. The exhaust has some surface rust, but as far as frame rails and like everything chassis wise, this car is pretty much rust free. So we do have a little bit of surface rust on this thing, nothing crazy. And in here there's just a slew of things. Intake manifold, super tiny, funny looking. There's just not a lot going on here. Here is the head, or the previous head. I don't intend on using this one. I don't know, we have a ton to go through in this trunk. I have not even looked at it. And I don't think I'm going to until I get the car home. There's nothing that I can do with it now. So there she is. That is the new addition, and hopefully we do something cool with it. I'm pretty excited. I think that this will be a proper patina sleeper car if I decide to keep it long enough. I think the drivetrain in this car will totally complement the exterior look. I think that is my goal with it. If I don't turbo the 325, I'll probably turbo this. I do want to get a turbo project under my belt, so this would be a great candidate for that. So hopefully you guys are as excited as I am for this thing. I've never built a car like an E30. This will be the oldest chassis I think I've ever worked on. So if you've got an E30 or you have any tips or tricks for me on this chassis, make sure to drop a comment down below and subscribe to stick around, because there is tons to do on this car, as you can probably tell. If you're interested in any other cars, I have plenty of E36 content on my channel, and I make a lot of BMW stuff, so stick around. But with that being said, I don't want to make this video too long, and there's not very much I can do past looking at it for now. So in the next few weeks, I will be picking this thing up with the trailer and bringing it home. Thank you so much for watching. Get stoked on this thing, and I'll see you next time. Peace.